and welcome to the Hammond Solutions channel. In today's multi-part VMware series, we're going to cover how to create affinity rules. And we're going to cover such things as how to keep VMs together, how to keep certain VMs apart, how to create groups for computers and or servers. Without further ado, let's get to it. I've created several fictitious servers: app, DC for domain controller, FS for file server. To get started, right-click on your cluster and say Settings. This will take you to the Configure tab. In the middle column, we want to click on VM and Host Rules. For our first example, click Add. We'll start with two domain controllers, and we'll want to keep them separate. So we'll say Different Server Domain Controller. With type, there are several options. Keep virtual machines together. We'll discuss that shortly for our application. Separate virtual machines, as in they can't run on the same physical server, or virtual machines to hosts, so if you did want specific VMs to hosts, or you could also say virtual machines to virtual machines. In this example, we'll select Separate Virtual Machines. Click Add. We'll select our two domain controllers. Click OK. The reason this box is white is because I'm running a dark theme. All you have to do is mouse over it if it happens to you. Click OK. If we look at our two domain controllers, you can see that this object, DC01, is running on ESX01. If I click on DC02, you can see this is running on 04. As an experiment, let's go back to DC1. We'll right-click and say Migrate. We're going to change resource to 04. Click OK. But you see what happened. Our domain controller is previously running on 4, it moved to 1. For our next example, we'll look at our file servers. Again, right-click on your cluster, Settings, VM Hosts and Rules, click Add, and we'll say FS for file server. Keep virtual machines separate. Add, FS, OK. So for file server 1, scroll down and see that's running on 2. For file server 2, we can see it's running on 3. If we migrate file server 2 to host 2, you can see now that file server 2 is running on host 2, but file server 1 has moved to 1. For an application example, right-click on your cluster, Settings. In your middle column, click on VM Host Rules, Add. For this, we'll say same server. Call these names whatever you want. This is just my abbreviation that makes sense to me. Call it whatever you want per your company standards or something that makes sense to you. For examples, we'll say keep virtual machines together. You'll get better performance that way. That's why we're doing this. So we'll say add. We'll say appdb1 and appweb1. When the client hits the web server as the front end and then it makes a call to the database, you get better performance because it's on the same host. Click OK, then click OK. Let's check our work now. If we go to appdb01 and click the summary, we can see that the VM is running on host ESX04. If we go to the web server, we can see it's running on ESX04. We migrate this, let's say to 1. There is a little delay. The rule just kicked in. So web 1 is currently running on 01. And we can see ham ESX01. And you can see also in my timetable down here. For an example of a licensing requirement, right-click on your cluster and say Settings. We'll need to create a couple groups. We'll say VM and host groups. We'll say add, and we'll say licensing. From the pull down here, you can see there's two types, VMs or hosts. So we'll just say licensing VMs, add, and we'll add our database server. It's okay to have one. Click OK, then click OK. We'll say add. We'll create a second group, and this will be for the actual physical servers themselves. And select host group. So click add. Remember our example earlier where DB1 was running on host 1? We'll say ESX04 and click OK. Click OK. Just to confirm, if we go to DB01, you can see it's still running on ESX1, but we haven't actually created a rule yet. We've just created the prerequisites to create the rule. So if we go back to the VMs and host rules, we'll say add. Again, just find names that work for you. We'll say keep virtual machines to hosts. We only have two groups in this example, so it just defaults to them. That's why that happened. But you can see here, virtual machines that are members of a cluster VM group must run on this specific host. Our VM, being database, must run on the hosts in this group, so license hosts. You could also do the exact opposite with the option should not run on this hosts, must not run. These are very important distinctions. Must means that a VM must run on a specific machine. Should run means that we'd really prefer it, but in a hard situation, such as during upgrades and host maintenance, the VM could run on a separate machine. Generally, I'll stick with should unless I've got a very hard reason why it must not. But in this example, we'll just force it, must run on this host group. And then there's also the opposite of must not. Click OK. What you see is the cluster has been reconfigured. If we go to database 01, the rule hasn't kicked in yet, so we'll give it a minute. Okay, it took a minute or so for the rule to actually kick in, but you can now see that the database is running on ESX04. Based on other rules, what else should we see? Web 01 is also running on 04, so that just proves that our rules are working. All right, now you know how to create affinity and anti-affinity rules for your VMs, your hosts, all kinds of good stuff. How are you going to use it? Does it fit your environment? I hope you found this content helpful. Thank you for your time. Take care.